Once again, this is Joe Halanich, the Commissioner, Assigner, and Rules Interpreter for Cascade Officials Association, known as CASO. Today we're going to talk about the two different types of conferences in a softball game. Let's start by talking about the pregame conference. The pregame conference is held 5 minutes before game time. It's attended by coaches and umpires, but team captains are also welcome to attend. During the pregame conference, you can have no thrown or hit balls in live ball territory. That includes the field of play as well as foul territory. The reason is, if you look at the picture there, everybody has their back to the field. And so what we don't want to have happen is a thrown ball gets away from somebody and hits an umpire or coach or player in the back, or worse yet, in the head. So for safety reasons, we just do not allow any thrown balls or hit balls in live ball territory during the pregame conference. Conference should only take a few minutes, and what's reviewed at the conference are the lineup cards. The umpire looks to make sure the lineup cards meet all of the Rule 3 requirements, and they're listed there. He also asks the coach if they're satisfied with the lineup card, and if they are, then the lineup becomes official. At that point, if changes are made to the lineup, then the penalties for changing the lineup take effect, which is for the first time you get a warning, and the second time the coach is confined to the bench. The umpire will also ask the coach if their team and equipment is certified to the National Federation of High School Standards. The coach needs to affirm in a verbal yes that they are. And the home team will then review the ground rules. If the home team coach doesn't feel comfortable doing the ground rules, the plate umpire will then set the ground rules for the game. Finally, coaches out of uniform are not allowed on the field once they've completed the pregame conference. You can be at the pregame conference, but if you're out of uniform, you cannot be in the field after the pregame conference. At that point, the meeting ends, teams are on the field, and the JV clock starts. Now, let's look at charge conferences. A charge conference is when a bench personnel requests timeout to meet with players. And the bench personnel could be the coach sitting in the defensive team's dugout, or it can be the offensive coach in the coach's box. Both are bench personnel, and so when they request time to go meet with the player, it is a charged conference. During that charged conference, the other team who has not requested it may meet with their players, but they can only meet with their players during a charged conference. How many charged conferences are allowed? Well, each team is allowed 3 defensive conferences per game. If they have a 4th defensive conference, the pitcher must be removed for the duration of the game. They are allowed 1 defensive conference per extra inning, and the offense is allowed 1 conference per inning. If the catcher calls time and goes talk to the pitcher, that is not a charged conference. Therefore, if the catcher is talking to the pitcher, the players who are on base cannot leave the base and go speak with their base coaches. You must have a charged conference before the players can leave the base. As I said, players must remain on the base. The conference is not charged if they replace the pitcher or they attend to an injured player. This completes the presentation.